You want an application engineer, you want a design engineer, you want a technician on site, whichever category you pick. We have an army and they're global, and we could dispatch them to any site, any location on the planet.
How much more data is being created, right, by all these applications? No matter the transport method, right? How much more data is being created?
So I have the display outside the conference room to say who's in it and what's the time and what's the schedule.
Wi-Fi, intelligent
I
window.
have Wi-Fi, I have
Yep.
all these things, and they're all run on an Ethernet protocol. A lot of this is Cisco gear. There's nothing new here. We just run that out further, and then we do a short reach to get all these technologies within that area. And guess what? We all know that that area could be changed 3 years from now, 4 years from now. How many times you build a house and put addition on it and say, well, I want that room to be this now, not that. And in an office building, I could literally take my main end piece of the fiber copper run. So the copper's powering the unit. The fiber is making it have the unlimited bandwidth that it needs forever to scale. I can run so much stuff off of that. And then I could just take that unit, roll it up, put it away, redo the whole area, roll it back out, reconnect everything, and bam, you're up and running. And there's a lot of things that happen. 30% less installation costs up front. I don't know what the power consideration is. We've done some analytics, but imagine all the power that, and not only just the power to power the units in the IDF, but the power to power the cooling and the UPSs and everything. This, and not only that, but put all this equipment in the closet and worry about all the heat. And these go away; they get eliminated. So the ROI is very quick, right up front. And the savings on day two just continue to happen. Less power, less use, more bandwidth, more accessibility to add-on features. Imagine somebody coming up with a new technology that's deployable out in the area that I might want. Maybe it's going to do, smoke sensing or count the molecules in the air for clean air so we don't get the disease in the air. I'm just going to take it, plug it in, right there. It's up and running. I don't have to run. I don't have to call somebody up and say, oh, by the way, I need 14 more runs. Could you get from the IDF to here? And by the way, can you do it at night? Because, I can't disrupt the workers. And how many times we see that? So to me, it's kind of a no-brainer, but I really want to get it out to the market and try to change the minds out there that they really should be looking at this, and it's not being looked at as serious as it should be. But if you're going to build these environments like JPMC and either One Penn Plaza, I guarantee you they had to bring fiber out to all those areas to deploy this technology.
Yeah, and I think a couple really great points. In that JPMC building, in One Penn Plaza, they brought in people to concentrate on those technologies, right? And the experience, right? So, Corning had a lot of success initially in stadiums and has done many, many stadiums, football stadiums, hockey arenas, right? So you think about it's really about the user experience, right? In those facilities. So in the stadiums, they want people to have a great experience, right? You look at the traffic in for a football game, or everybody's on their phone consuming, data in different schools, right? So kind of not move from, right? Because there's still obviously every stadium that gets built, Corning's probably involved in most of them, right? And then hospitality. So you think about when you go to a hotel, what do you want, right? You want to be able to have connectivity. You want to be able to check into your room with your phone or whatever, right? All that's enabled through all these different technologies, right? So now, you kind of say, okay, people are going back to work. You look at, again, there's many other buildings in the city that are going through the same thing, right? And I think again, like you said, one of the reasons that they are staying at work, right, is because of some of some of that, right? So it's shifted from the stadiums. Now it added hospitality. Now added the tenant experience, right? And it's just a natural progression. I think I say this a lot. I think that depending upon New York tends to be cutting edge at the forefront. From a data center market, the customers here, and certainly elsewhere now, right? But the adoption by the customers here to be able to deploy for again those migrations to 800 gig 1.6 terabyte, right?
No.
Always very quick to happen, but this has been a little bit of a longer attrition, right? We've knocked down some great projects, but there's still so much more out there to educate the consulting firms. And if you look at that, what they've done as well, right? So whether you look at some of the large engineering firms, they've developed these intelligent building teams. There's organizations now focused just on this type of stuff, right? Just trying to
Workspace technology, correct?
exactly these philosophies. So again, it's been a war of attrition. I think we would be further along, but the pandemic definitely slowed this down from a technology perspective. And now that everybody's calling people back into the offices, 4 days a week, probably at a minimum, we will see more of an uptick here. There's definitely been more of an appetite for people to embrace it